Hi, my name is Judith Allen. I am a PhD in art history. I'm pretty qualified to talk about just about every kind of art, although I might be a little less familiar with non-Western art. You're outside my area of expertise here. I'm sure they're very famous, but offhand I don't know much about them. I'm just going to say that they're Asian. Sorry. I can tell you the stuff in the background. The background is
Well, hold on. We'll get there.
rock
We'll get there.
sundown.
I know you know all of those. We do want to see your area of weakness.
I mean, I say it's Japanese because of the patterns on it. It would probably be very old, and it's probably not made out of metal. I would expect it was made out of pottery, clay. As an ancestor figure, that's all I know. You've got Hokusai's The Wave, which is very famous. Hokusai's The Wave is from a lot of watercolors of views of Mount Fuji. But these are very famous, and they could be almost anywhere because they were mass-produced in the 19th century. And believe it or not, Western authorities did not appreciate their value and used them to pack China in when it was shipped to the West. So people would have found these prints of woodcut, which today we value very highly, but for them would have been like newspaper. If you happen to run across a box, you would find that probably the woodcuts are more valuable than the china. And then next to it is another Japanese print. I don't know the name of that particular artist. I think those are painted on silk. So I think they're panels. I think the one on the left is of a geisha, and that might be from the series The Floating City, which was a series of paintings done, I'd say the 19th century, of Japanese nightlife, because it's against that totally blank backdrop. The patterning and the flattening of the figure is from The Floating City. It's the kind of thing that inspired Mary Cassatt. She used these kinds of pattern-oriented flat figures as a inspiration for her work. The one on the right, I don't know, this is a landscape, so it has a very specific style.
Do you have a guess as to what century it was made in?
I'm going to say it's the same time as the other one.
Apparently, one of the outstanding parts of this painting is that the color on the silk is still very vibrant.
Our museum owl should be very aware of how much light they're exposed to. Not only the materials, the silk, but also the way the materials used to paint them. You really don't want them sitting out in bright light because they will fade. This might be things that you would want to rotate.
What's your opinion on blathers?
Yeah, if they have faded, he must be cycling them. And they're in a climate-controlled case, which is very important. These are the tomb warriors from the tomb of Qin, who was the first emperor of China. China is named after Qin. Years and years ago, the Chinese were looking for a water source, and they uncovered Qin's tomb, which looked like a mountain, so huge, and they're still excavating it. The original ones are life-size. They're made out of very delicate red clay. Each one of them is unique. They're actually portraits of real people who served in Qin's army. They had horses that were made out of terracotta. Each one of them was individualized, and they were hauling chariots. I don't know when they'll finish excavating it. Part of the excavation is putting them back together. The roof over them collapsed. But the ones that are in good shape still have all their original color. You still have all the bright colors that they were painted with. The thing in the foreground is ancient, and it's made out of bronze, and it's a ceremonial vessel, and it's Chinese. And it probably dates back to before the Emperor of Qin. Can you see why people didn't want to go to the museum with me? Because I slowed him down.